A 50,000 rand reward has been issued for credible information that could lead to an arrest and conviction in connection with the incident involving artist Esther Mahlangu. Mahlangu was assaulted and robbed in her home near Siyabuswa, Mpumalanga on the 19th of March. Her personal firearm and an undisclosed amount of money was stolen. Police have urged anyone with information regarding the crime to come forward. For more on this, I'm joined now by the Provincial Commissioner of the SAPS in Mpumalanga, Daphney Manamela. Good afternoon, good evening, Commissioner Manamela. So, you offering this reward, what are we to read into that in as far as your investigations are concerned? Is this case proving to be difficult to crack?
Thank you very much, and good evening to you and the listeners. The case of Mama Esther Mahlangu is a very difficult case, as you can imagine that this is an 87-year-old woman. Apparently, we did not arrest anyone so far, as she was arrested and assaulted, and then the man has been stolen from her own house. So far, the 50,000 rand, it calls to get any information from anyone who can be able to have the knowledge of the whereabouts of the perpetrator. Because if you can do that, you are aware that we are being struggling with the gender-based violence, we are being struggling with the abuse against women and children. So we are offering the 50,000 rand to can have information from anyone in order for us to can crack this investigation, because so far we are not winning in this case. There is no information, and Ugogo cannot at this stage identify the perpetrator. The fact remains she was assaulted, the firearm is gone.
And which direction are your investigations pointing you? Because you will know, Commissioner, that at some point there was speculation, and speculation is one thing. It doesn't, present a case in court, and it's not a case that can be presented in court. But at some point there was speculation about just how local that whole incident was likely to be. So I take it by you making this offer and this reward, you've looked into that earlier speculation about how local it was, and you are satisfied that you need to broaden your horizons in terms of, looking for suspects.
Look, you are correct by saying speculations, because we don't want to speculate. The speculations were there. It's not an information that we can divulge. As we are saying now, for us to can get the concrete information, we need to broaden up this information, and then to say the community must assist us. So far, the speculations that were there is not an information that I can divulge at this present moment, because we are correct to say they are speculations. So we want information. Our direction of investigation, it will be directed by the information that we are looking for at this stage.
And I suppose if I was to ask you pointedly, then you are ruling out what some of the family members were saying, that, the person who did this to Mama Esther Mahlangu is known to the family and to Mama Esther herself. I take it that you are satisfied you can rule that out?
Yes, because if the person was known, the statement could have been taken. The people who are alleging to have seen and know the person must have been at this stage giving us the statement to prove that for sure they are certain that that person is a possible suspect in the case. So unless we don't have that, we cannot be in the position to can say we suspect that person without concrete information to can make him a suspect.
And at this point, do you have an idea of, who the suspect, the profile of the suspect, or is it a matter of, at this point, you absolutely have no idea of is it a man, is it a woman, how old, and is it someone who is from the area, or someone who came from outside? Did they work alone, or were they working with other suspects?
Our experience has proven to us that as soon as you get the information that you are not 100% sure of, or you have collected that data, you are unable to divulge that information, because at the same time you also take note that those perpetrators are in the position to can be at large. So it's very much safe at this stage not to divulge that information, but we are promising this investigation and the case is going to be cracked.
And naturally, I suppose, to follow through, if anyone has that kind of information that you are looking for, they are to follow the usual channels in terms of calling Crime Stop, or do you have other further details of how they can get a hold of you?
The information is there, the 10111 information is there, the investigating officer in the information and the statement that was issued, he did give the number that he can call if anyone do have the information. Or alternatively, we can give the number of the spokesperson of the province that can be able to communicate with anyone who's having the information in this regard for an assistance.
All right. Lastly, then, if we can shift focus for a moment, Commissioner, and just focus on the event, the big event taking place in Emalahleni over this weekend, the ANC's Provincial Conference. I imagine that you must have done your own preparatory work, knowing the sensitivities that from time to time arise, incidents that do happen from time to time in political gatherings. What's your sense of how the ANC Mpumalanga Conference is going, or are you worried that at some point you could be called upon to respond to, one or two or other situations?
I think at this stage, I must say I'm not worried. We did our spade work, we did our deployment. The conference is going very well. It started yesterday, and yesterday there were no incidents that reported. There were no conflicts that happened to have reported or appeared in the conference venue. Even today, the whole day, the police are being deployed all over, and other than that, the conference itself, with the deployment that is there and the people that are in the conference, that seems to be having an understanding. So far, I'm not worried as the Provincial Commissioner, and things are going pretty well. And even now, they are still there. We haven't yet reported or received any incident or any threat that can make us to be worried at this stage. So the conference is going very well. I can say that.
All right, thank you for that, and that's good to hear. The last thing we want is violence polluting our political culture. That's Daphney Manamela. She is the Provincial SAPS Commissioner in the province of Mpumalanga.